People's Democratic Party has declared that the All Progressive Congress and its candidate in the September 21, 2024 Edo State governorship election, Senator Monday Okpebholo, are out of the race, following an allegation that the APC candidate is not a registered voter, as reportedly revealed by checks in the Independent National Electoral Commission portal. PDP said the alarming discovery that the APC candidate allegedly presented a fake voter's ID card in his Form EC9 submitted to INEC is a self-inflicted blow which clearly and irredeemably signals the end of the road for the APC and its candidate in the 2024 Edo State election. The PDP alleged that some APC leaders were mounting pressure on certain INEC officials to compromise the Commission's data and impute fabricated voter registration information for the embattled APC candidates. The National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Honorable Debo Ologunagba, in a statement yesterday, said it was scandalous that the APC sponsored a candidate with alleged questionable documents as a governorship candidate for Edo State that was noted for very credible and highly respectable citizens. He said, moreover, it is now apparent as to why the APC submitted to INEC a blurred and unreadable voter's card purporting same to be that of its candidate and had remained silent since the news broke out that the said voter's card is allegedly fraud. The act of impunity by the APC amounts to an assault on the sensibility of the generality of the people of Edo State and our nation's democratic practice. Without remedy, the APC and its candidate, Senator Monday Okpebholo, are not eligible to contest the September 21, 2024 Edo State governorship election by virtue of the express provisions of Section 182, subsection 1J of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, Section 114G of the Electoral Act, 2022, and Section 467 of the Criminal Code Act. The clear implication is that the APC campaign in Edo State is a journey to nowhere, as any vote cast for the APC in the September 21, 2024 Edo State governorship election would be a void vote and effort in futility. Let me start with you, Zoe. What is your take on these developments?
Well, those sections of the Constitution that you have cited, I wish we can know what those sections are saying. However, I don't know at this point in time, when Edo State is yearning for governance, at this point in time, when the people of Edo States are looking up to leadership that will bring them out of the challenges, the economic challenges that the Nigerian government has created, people are going to trivial issues, because for a party to have a candidate, we should look at the credibility of that candidate in terms of what he has to offer, in terms of his capacity, in terms of his competence, in terms of his courage to be able to provide leadership, and the electorate should be looking at that. To go back to look at whether somebody is a registered voter, mind you, in the election, the people are voting for the party, not necessarily the individual. The individual is just a card-carrying person of the party, a representative of the party. So we should be looking at the big picture at this point in time. The opposition party or the PDP, in the contending, should look for issues that are important to the people in this election, and not to be going to look for trivial issues like whether a person is a registered voter or not. That, however, is not to discard what the Constitution says with regards to somebody to qualify for contesting an election. So we should look at it on both ways. While the individual should meet the criteria set out by the Electoral Act to present himself as a candidate of the party, the opponent should also be looking beyond trivial things, but to look at what is important. What are the issues with regards to the welfare of Edo people? Those are the issues that should be in the discussion in the public at this material time.
Well, Yeah, you've met a lot of points. But then when you say that, talking about raising questions to the validity of a candidate's voter's card is trivial, you know, that brings to question the person, the integrity of the persons that you say that we should vote for. The character of the persons, shouldn't they be scrutinized? Now, one of the things provided in the Electoral Act, which the PDP is laying claim on to make a case, is that the candidate must be a registered voter. And that was why when INEC was verifying the forms, the documents that these candidates submitted, according to them, they said they discovered that Okpebolo's voter's card was not authentic and it wasn't in INEC portal.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So
okay,
if he has one of the criteria for being a eligible and candidate is voided by the reason of presenting the fact that he presented allegedly at this point in time presented a forged document, doesn't that bring his integrity to question?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You've just cleared this thing now, the section you're talking about. And that's what I'm saying, that those who come to public office must come with the required character and integrity. And that also goes to showing that you show documents that are verifiable and that are authentic. You don't need to present a fake document.
But you're saying that this matter is trivial.
No, yes, as much as we are going to scrutinize these people with regards to their document, yes, they should come. And if that violates, okay, the Electoral Act, if he has violated the Electoral Act, yes, the opponent can take up such matter and claim that such person is not qualified for public office. That is not, I'm not against that. However, what should be important for Edo people as far as the elections are concerned should be the welfare of the people. Those should be the burning issue in the public now.
All right. Gochukwu, what is your take?
My take on this Edo Guba election that's coming up on the 21st of September this year is the character of the politicians, the character of the nature of the politics that plays out in Edo State. If you recall, since after the pronouncement and the making public the election timetable in Edo State, it has been shrouded in controversies, and this is one of them, throwing banter here and there. I think if APC is not in the ballot, and if PDP is not in the ballot, which party is going to do the contest? This is a question we should be asking ourselves. Because you know that PDP is still in court.
Yes.
Contesting the authenticity and the legibility of their own candidate, and here is APC now throwing a punch on PDP, about the eligibility of their gubernatorial candidate. You see, what happens in Nigeria is this: when a sitting government wants to bring his tunch to take over from them, those persons are technocrats. You could see in the case of Rivers State, in the case of what is happening in Edo State now, these were not politicians. Maybe in their widest imagination, they never had an interest to contest for governorship or go into party politics, but they were drawn to it. They are not registered members. They were not card-carrying members. At least the one that is the person that is brought in those states to flag the flag of PDP is not a known politician. So if you question his credibility as it concerns the registration in his ward, I think it should be verified, because we don't know him as being somebody who have had his name since the first tenure of Obaseki. And Obaseki has now fought the structure that we are there hitherto before he came, which are known politicians like the Dan Obe and the Shaibus of this world. And then if you look at it again on the second leg, I look at it as impunity being perpetuated by Nigerian politicians, especially when it comes to internal democracy. If there is an internal democratic structure that are adhered to according to the 2022 Electoral Act as amended, we will not be having all this back and forth, who is eligible, and because the party would have done its due diligence before bringing out a candidate. But you find out that the politics we play in Nigeria is the politics of the building of an individual institution, and not the institutionality of the nation. You know, the governor is within his purview, his ways and caprices, brings in somebody and say it must be this person, jettisoning the internal democratic mechanism that should have, you know, had a roadmap in screening and rescreening and checking, making the background checks of the candidate that you want to bring out to the fore. So when you look at it, they are not historians, because if APC and PDP in Edo State are going by the history that has not even up to 4 years. You heard what happened in the landmark judgment of the Supreme Court or Appeal Court as it concerns the Zamfara State, you know, losing out election that APC won, and they gave it to PDP on a platter. You saw what happened in Delta State a few years ago, where somebody had emerged, has finished learning the parade of how to take the salute.
That's in Bayelsa.
Yes, in Bayelsa, that's what I'm saying. And somebody from nowhere who didn't even have a practice of how to take the salute and all that, emerged as a governor. That was a conscientious judgment delivered by the Supreme Court. Just a day, 24 hours to that particular swearing in of the APC candidate then. And you also saw what happened in the case of which state now, in Kogi State, Yaya Bello, when his case came as that he was registered twice. What happened to it? He died down. Nobody did anything. He served out his 4 years. So what am I saying? The internal democratic settings of political parties are laid down by the Electoral Act, should be followed by those parties. INEC is not to be blamed. The APC is pointing accusing finger on INEC. INEC is not to be blamed. INEC brings out what you have given her. And Chioma, for APC and PDP to be throwing that banter means that they don't have a case. Because if you have a case and you're going into a battlefield, knowing the precedents that have been set by the judiciary, no matter how bad we say that the judiciary has been, we have seen landmark judgments from them, especially when it concerns governorship election. The only place we are holding them to the jugular is when it comes to the Nigerian president. But if it's in deciding the fate of governors in Nigeria, right from Peter Obi's time, they have earned their mark. Then if PDP, Edo State, and PDP, APC in Edo State, they have tangible grounds of this banter, they should wait and let the election be conducted, let the votes be cast, and let them go to the law courts and file their grounds. And then at the end of the day, they will
that
yes.
One of the criteria for emerging as a candidate is violated. In this case, they are saying that Okpebolo, who is the APC candidate, allegedly submitted a fake voter's card. Now, they are saying that he is not a registered voter, which apparently is one of the qualifications in the Electoral Act. Do you understand what's playing out now?
I understand what you're saying.
Now, PDP is saying that that they are out of the race by the reason of that particular fact. You understand? If they did not meet up with the required criteria, it means that their candidate is not qualified. So they are out of, and they are saying anyone that, whatever votes, even if they go ahead with the election, that vote will be null and void. Now, PDP, on the other hand, you know, right now is battling internal crisis that may even void their candidate from contesting. So how do you see this playing out? If this plays out at the end of the day, Labour Party
It's closing home.
Even though at this point, Labour Party is also faced with its own quagmire because Emaswabon is challenging
the emergence of Apata through the primaries.
It's interesting times in those states.
So, excuse me, before you come in, let me make a clarification from what he has asked. Choma, you know, this Electoral Act is very tricky. With what is happening now, throwing accusation and counter-accusation, INEC is not going to take any of the candidates to the court. I want to make it clear to you. INEC, their own is to bring in whatever you have given them. It is in the purview of the opposing political party
to make to disqualify a candidate.
Yeah, it has the right, but they have floated the name. They can only disqualify based on some certain sections of the Electoral Act. But if you see in this particular case, the accusation that the APC is laying now, it is not in the hands of INEC.
Has not come out to say
yes, I have
so
not, because they are the custodian of the registration that is bearing the name of the PDP candidate. So they have
until they come out to speak.
Until they come out to speak. And what I have said is that if APC has a clear case, why are you coming to your lecturer like Zoe is here after setting exams? You now give your students the exam question paper before the examination day. Okay, look at what happened in the case of PDP in Rivers State during the Amechi's time. You recall that after the elections, the Supreme Court said that the vote cast belonged to the party. That the party should inherit the vote, and not the candidate. So if you make your comparative analysis, you find out that it is not in the duty or in the saddle of INEC to go asking what is the qualification or what not of the candidate that the party has floated, but it is the duty of the political party to run a background check on their candidate, because if not, you are doing disservice to your party and to the merit of your opponent, who inherits the vote at the end of the day. So these are the issues that those state PDP and PDP should not be troubling the Nigerian political space with all this back and forth they are going. That is my own view.
All right. You wanted to say something?
Yes, addressed the point, but let me just add, I agree with him totally on the fact. The problem we have here is what he mentioned, internal democratic process. And it's amazing that after what has happened in Bayelsa State,
yes,
the Nigerian political parties are still not being careful enough.
They've not learned.
They've not learned any lessons. That's what it means. So, like he said, if the political process, the internal democratic process are allowed to play it out, this is what the internal processes will take care of. Because when the governor leave the party free, the party machineries free to carry out their functions, there are people responsible in screening candidates, in ensuring that candidates' documents are okay and
verified
to be presented to the public. Now, when the governor intervene in the internal democratic process and just impose, that is where all these processes are overlooked and they get themselves into trouble. Having said that, the issue of PDP accusing APC in terms of their candidate now, are they the people in the right place to do so? It is only INEC that can come out to tell us that the credential so produced by any candidate is false, and therefore this is our action towards that.
Of course.
PDP can present, if they found anything against their candidate, they can present it to INEC for verification. So they should leave these things for INEC. Besides, even if INEC, there is such discrepancies in the document presented, even if INEC goes ahead to conduct election with that candidate,
of course,
they still have the right to go to the court and say, look, this is what is wrong, this is what INEC did not look at, and the court will give judgment. So they should, like he said, stop disturbing the political space. Rather tell us what they have for the people to solve the problems of Edo people on a daily basis.
Because, Choma, you know that Obaseki, to my own assertion, has done pretty well. In terms of I think that the state paying the highest minimum wage. He has also done a lot of things, bringing back some of the artifacts and making sure that his government is running, systematically, whether in line with what Edo people want or not, but he has been consistent. So if they can get somebody that will cue in what he has done already, I think before you know it, Edo State will be competing with the likes of Lagos State from what he has laid on the floor now.
You said, thank God, you said from your own opinion.
From my own opinion. Yes. And Choma, see, one moment. See, in the discrepancy we are talking about, I know the fear of APC and PDP. No, sometimes when you go to court, when you go to court after the election, they will say that it's pre-election matters. So you see where all those people are fighting now, so that the world will hear them and know that INEC, in their own opinion, is overlooking some things or not speaking out.
Then they should sue the
because when it goes to pre-election matters,
Delta State councillors went to court and pleaded with the court to stop INEC from conducting the local government polls, because according to them, INEC did not follow due process.
DSEC.
Yes, DSEC in this case, thank you, did not follow due process. So the Delta State local government councillors went to court, praying the court to stop INEC.
And that's what Zoe has just said polls. Now, that they can sue INEC.
They can sue. The question is, will they?
But they are only afraid of the pre-election matters that comes up during the tribunal, which has been overtaken by events.
I want to add something to what he said. Okay. When he said Obaseki has done well.
I know you wanted to go there. All right, let me have that. I know you don't totally agree to that.
To his opinion.
That's what I said already.
The governor have done well. Currently in Nigeria, the only way we can adjudge any government doing well is the cost of food item in the market. How has his done well, yes, affected the price of food item, the cost of fuel in the market? It's only then we can say a government is doing well.